Hello, Dublin. How are you? Good. Thank you very much. Wow. Hello. It's fantastic to be back in Vicar Street. Woohoo. Thank you very much. It's really... I was here last year, but it's a bit of a difference. I had a job last year. I had a day job. I had to get rid of my job, lads. I had to quit my job. Can you believe that? It's harder than it sounds, actually. We've all heard it, haven't we? You've heard the phrase, don't quit your day job. Don't quit the day job. Don't give up the day job. I went back to the day job for 2 years, and I'm here to tell you now, Dublin, a lot more people should be giving up the day job. A lot more people. I had somewhere to go. People should have went before me, you know? I went back working as an electrician. There's too much shame in giving up your job. I think some people are bad at it. Some people, the job just doesn't suit them. There's too much shame, you know? They think they have a job. I need to keep it. I better hold on to that. That's my job. You know, that's my job. I better hold on to that. Jesus, give me my job. No. But you hate it. I know, yeah, but I don't want to give it away. I'd love to have a word with a couple of the apprentices before I left, you know? They say, come here, man, are you sure this is what you want to do? You know, like, you're 4 months into the apprenticeship now, eh? How many times have you electrocuted yourself? 7. That's a lot, man. No, it is. It's actually a lot, yeah. No, seriously, 7's a lot. We've yet to turn the power on. I don't even know how you're doing it, to be quite honest. Have you ever taught a painting or anything like that? And I meet people out there all the time. You know what I mean? You're out and about and you meet people and you know they hate their jobs. You know they hate it or they're terrible at it. Just love a little word with them. Yeah, sure, look, come here. I know you have all the tattoos now, yeah? But are you absolutely sure you want to be a barista? Because this is the 3rd or 4th time I've come in here now. You put shots of coffee into a baby chino, right? They're still trying to get a child off a shelf over there now again. This can't keep happening. No, we can't take the shelves down. You need to think about another job, all right? Are you sure you want to be a priest? You don't even have to finish that joke, you know? Put whatever ending you want on it. And sometimes the job's just not for you. That's the thing, right? Because when I was a teenager, I was in something called a civil defence. You know what that is? Yeah, it's like a fake fire brigade. And I think there should be more fake jobs like that, because then you'd know. Yellow fire trucks, loads of water, no fire. And it's harder than it sounds. It's harder than it sounds. Because you're doing all these drills and stuff and you're trying to like out in these fires and you're like, well done, lads. And your man behind me is like, it's still going. All right, fair enough. Yeah, okay, yeah. All your imaginations need to line up, you know what I mean? To out this fire that doesn't exist. And they would simulate car accidents, right, in the civil defence. So they'd have a crashed car, they'd put a mannequin in the car, and Paul was our instructor, and he'd say, okay, Chris, it's been a crash here now, you're the first on the scene, what are you going to do? So I walk up behind the car and I'm like, how's it going, are you okay? And Paul was like, you killed her, huh? He said, never approach a vehicle that's been in a collision from behind and ask are they okay, because they might go to turn around and finish off breaking their neck. That is information I was given. That must be where the name Killing 'Em with Kindness comes from. Are you okay? Not anymore. Fuck it. Shit, I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. Paramedics turn up, I was like, she was like that when I got here anyway. Nosy bitch, am I right? See that road is that way, like, what's over here, I wonder? What you're meant to do in that situation, did you know this? You're meant to, right? Keep the person calm, walking up from behind the vehicle. Don't look at me, you're okay, stay calm, everything is okay, you're going to be fine. You get into the car behind them and you hold their head, you spread your fingers out like that and you hold their head in what's called a brace position until somebody comes with a stretcher board or somebody else. And that's another thing they don't tell you, isn't it? As a fireman, you're going to need some small talk. It's not what you think about. You could be holding someone's head, lads, for 15 minutes. You can't just say nothing. It's okay, you know. Yeah. And it needs to be good small talk as well, like, you know what I mean? Do you have any plans? Fuck, no, you don't. Yeah, not anymore. I'm so bad at small talk, man, it would be unbearable. Well, 15 minutes in, you just finish them off. Fuck it, good luck, bye. Oh, sorry, I couldn't take it anymore. I could not take that. Time of death, 6:20. Yeah, she was very sad, wasn't it, how she went in the end. And see, the reason I had 2 jobs last year, right, was because me and my wife were trying to buy a house in Cork, so I had a mortgage on the back of my serious job, let's call it, right? We're trying to look for a house, so we had the mortgage, we had some savings, we had a loan, and we were looking for a house for ages, and we were not being picky. You know what I mean? We were not being picky. I'll give you an example, Dublin. This is the kind of houses I was looking at, right? One of the last houses I went to see, the estate agent's opening line was, "Be careful." She didn't even say hello to me. I'm from, "Be careful. Be careful going upstairs. There's a big, huge hole, and your children might fall down it." I went up the stairs. She was not lying. Biggest hole I've ever seen in my life. In the bathroom. And I was so desperate at that point. I was sucking up to her. I was like, "Do you know what? I love the hole. I think I like it." I was only saying to my wife there, I was thinking of getting a hole put in. So actually saving me a bit of work on the house here now. Because I'm sick and tired, like I'm walking all the way out to the stairs, you know what I mean? Why should I walk all the way out there? Like, this is the hole now, right? I'm in the bathroom, perfect, brush my teeth in the morning. Guess where I'm hopping straight down the hole. That's what I'm going to do. I'm in the kitchen in seconds, you know what I mean? How much time am I saving by having a big hole in my bathroom? Anything else I should know about this house? That is for some reason 372,000 euros. She said, "Yes, there's a subsidence issue." I didn't know what that meant. I said, "Excuse me?" And the estate agent was like, "It's sinking, the house is sinking." And she was like, "Is that all right?" It depends how fast, I suppose, you know. Be might, like, you know, am I coming back to see a bungalow next week, like? You know, or am I going to just gradually feel taller in this house now throughout the year? What do you mean, is that all right? Like, Santa Claus won't even need the reindeer, he'll just be your gran. Take it easy there, lads. I'm going to just hop down this chimney here on the ground. Do you want to hear the saddest part of that story, Vicar Street? I was outbid on that house. Yeah, it happened. Somebody outbid me on a house that's literally trying to get back to hell, you know? Give him more money, give him more money. Some Stranger Things fan that wants to live in the upside down, you know? Give him more. And that's fine, you know, because, like, the thing is, right, your kids pick up on it. Like, I have 2 little kids, they're coming to see houses with us all the time, and that is the hardest part for me. Because your kids are picking up on it, they're picking up on every little thing, all the conversations. And I remember we were leaving the house one day, and my little boy, he was only 5 at the time, he said to me and my wife, he's like, "Mom and Daddy," and we were like, "What is it, buddy?" He said, "You can have all of my money too." And I was just like, "How much do you have? Where is it? Bring it over. This is a great idea." I shook his little sister. I was like, "What are you bringing to the table anyway?" My wife was like, "She's not even talking yet." "I don't care. Check our pockets. Check our pockets. We're up against vulture funds here, Niamh. Can we not get the communions fast forwarded or something, like, you know? Do you want to be Catholic? They want to be Catholics. They're good for it. Just get a bit of money. It's just for now, like." And the estate agents, they pretend to be your friend. Because you meet them so often, they pretend to be your friend. Oh, it's one of the estate agents was like, "Okay, guys, I'm going to show you a house next week. You're going to be the first to see it." "Oh, thanks. Thank you. It's in your location." "Yeah, thank you. It's in the location you want." We go to see this house, and it's actually lovely, right? Walking around upstairs, just about our budget, and we're like, okay. Walking down the stairs, estate agent's getting off the phone. He said, "Lads, I'm really sorry. There's been an offer." I was like, "Okay. I'm so sorry, honestly. I'm genuinely gutted for you. There's been an offer. 40 over asking." That's a terminology they use, you know. And I was like pissed off at that point. We're looking for houses now for a long time. I said, "Look, can we just make an offer straight away as well? We like the house as well." He's like, "You can if you want." I said, look, we'll go 50 over asking. And he's like, are you sure? I said, 100%. Took 50 euros out of my wallet there and then. I said, listen, I'm not going to bother getting a takeaway this week, all right? Would you get me that house, please? 40 grand over, lads, 40 grand over. I said to him, I thought we're the first people to see the house. Ye are. This person they got off the phone to hasn't seen the house yet. 40 over. I wouldn't buy a banana I haven't seen, you know? Houses, yeah, 40 over, yeah, I'll take it, no problem. 40 over, I don't get my shopping delivered for that reason. I need to see the banana, like, you know what I mean? 40 over asking. And he said, honestly, there's no point in going against him because he's an investor. It's not even a mortgage. He's going to buy the house outright, flip it, rent it out. And I'm like, great. I said, he buys all the houses in this area. Fantastic. That's good to know. Why'd you keep selling them to him? It doesn't happen anywhere else, does it? In any other business. Do you ever go into a restaurant? You're like, sorry, I'll have the lasagna, please. The waitress is like, I'm really sorry. You're a man over there. He's after buying all the lasagnas. So you'll have to queue up and ask him now. Bit of a waiting list on lasagnas at the moment. I don't even think he's selling all of them. They're just sitting there. I don't know what he's up to. Do you know, I'll have a chicken curry. There's been an offer. And we're about 6 months into this, like, and my wife started saying to me, Chris, I don't know about this at all. I think we should probably give up looking for a house. It's not the right time. I think you should give up your job. I think it's just like, it's not going to happen. And she said to me something very interesting. She said, I don't think the universe wants us to have a house right now. The universe is involved now. I had no idea. I was worried enough about vulture funds and estate agents. I was so worried about all that stuff and being outbid. Now the universe is like, again. She said, put it out there, Chris, put it out there. Give up your job. Just put it out there to the universe that you want to be a full-time comedian again. And I was like, okay, that's just it, is it? That's that easy. I just put it out there. The universe will hand in my notice and all to my... But to be honest with you, I was too terrified to give up my job. That's the real truth about it. Because I had a mortgage on it, and that's a serious job. And I've already done this for 12 years full time. I had a bit of security, like, you know, and I was in denial. Like, I was working on a building site. Sometimes I was doing 50, 60 hours a week, driving up here doing gigs, driving back down home, driving up the north. I was in total denial, you know, because the gigs were great. The work was, the work was grand as well. Everything else in between was falling apart, right? I was too tired to notice. I'll give you an example. I was in getting fuel for my car one day. I tapped my card. The guy behind the desk went, sorry, you'll have to put it in, you know? And I said, yeah, no bother. And I just told him my PIN code out loud. A secret I've managed to keep all my life. Yeah, no bother. Shouted it to him. He got such a shock. He was like, excuse me? And I said it again, one more time. People in the queue were like, oh God, he's shouting his PIN out there, yeah, man. And then I came to, like, you know, I was like, what are you doing, Chris? And of course I still had to pay for the fuel, so I put my card in and I covered it then. Like yeah, sorry. Mind stepping back a small bit there, yeah? I'd be shouting fake numbers out for all you know there, like. All these small little things were leading me to go, something has to go here. You're doing too much, like, you know? The job, the comedy, and having 2 kids, everything, like, you know what I mean? And like, I had a little crash one day after work. Not a serious one. Glad you found that funny. Not a serious crash at all. I was leaving the car park at work. I crashed into the back of a lady. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, more embarrassing than anything. Got out of the car. I was like, don't look at me. Whatever you do, don't look at me. Just got into the car behind her. I'm very sorry about that. That was my fault now. That was my fault. Disaster. You watching anything good on Netflix or anything? Or Siri, call an ambulance, you know? So the next morning, I went in, like, that happened after work. It was so embarrassing. All the lads were leaving work, you know, and they're all looking at me like, What happened? What happened? They're driving around. I'm like, go on, see you in the morning, lads, see you in the morning. Yeah, good. I see you tomorrow, boys. I see you tomorrow. The next morning then, you know what it's like, go onto a building site, all the boys are like, what happened? I said I'd crash into the back of the lady. She was really nice about it. No one was hurt. That's the main thing. And my insurance company now are sorting it all out. What? What you do that for? What did I do that for? Every one of the lads in work, why did you call your insurance company? Why would you do that? Why did I call my insurance company that I've been paying for 18 and a half years in case I have a crash? I don't know. For some reason, they just popped into my head. I don't know. I don't know why, actually, now when you say it like that. Every one of them, though. Jesus, don't be calling your insurance company at all, right? You should have fixed that yourself. They're going to screw you. They're going to get all the parts from Ferrari now and fix your one's car with them. Your premium be 10 grand next year. Well done. You're some fucking idiot for that. And I was believing them. I was every one of them. I was thinking of ringing the insurance company back. I was only messing, by the way. I was only messing yesterday. Yeah, I was no crash. I gotcha. Every one of them. One of the older fellas was showing off and all. Christopher, you called the insurance company, did you? I have house insurance, gadget insurance, life insurance, pet insurance. 30 years, I've never made a claim. That sounds like a really good use of your money. And I'm like, have you had any problems? I can't say that. Well, that's amazing, isn't it? I'd imagine this guy now probably has a garden like a pet cemetery. Do you know what I mean? You'd hate to be one of his kids. Can we not bring Fluffy to the vet? Absolutely not. Too much no claims to think of. I know how this goes. I'll put her down myself. We'll find a space in the garden. So long as we don't dig down too far, we won't hit Rover 2. But you know when enough people say something to you, they actually get into your head. So I was paranoid about it. Front of my car was damaged. I was willing to fix that myself anyway. But then I had a gig that day after work, right? So I had to get into the car after work. I had to drive to Dundalk, and I was expecting a phone call back off the insurance company. So I was like, oh, why did you call them, Chris? You're an idiot. And they're meant to call me at lunchtime. They hadn't called me. So I was like, they're probably adding up all the money still that I owe them. And eventually they called me, right? I was halfway up to Dundalk, and I had to pull in to take the call because I don't have a hands-free kit, and I couldn't take the chance, you know? Because that'd be the one time that would happen to me. I'd take a call from the insurance company about a crash I had the day before and end up crashing into the back of someone else, you know? The insurance company are like, is that everything now? Actually, do you know, while I have you there, no. I'd like to report another accident, yeah. No, you've done all that. No, just here now, again, yeah. Swear to God, this second van, can't see the reg and I'm up too close. He's a very angry fella now. He's banging at the window there, actually, this fella. Pissed off, yeah, probably because I'm on the phone. Would you mind if I put you straight onto this fella, actually? I don't want to talk to him at all. That lady yesterday was an absolute... She was such a lovely person, this fella. No manners at all, I'd say. Can I put you on? That's for you there, bud. That's my insurance company, all right? Direct line. So the insurance company, of course, everything was fine. It was all blown out of proportion. The lads were wrong. I pulled in. Your man from the insurance company was like, no, you did the right thing. It's not going to cost you that much. It's like your no claims, you lose a percentage, you won't lose all of it. Your premium might go up a little bit next year, it'll come back down again. So everything was catastrophized, you know what I mean? And I was like, and do I need to do anything? The girl that I crashed into now, they're after giving, I have her details. You don't need to worry about her. Sounded to me like they were going to kill her, like, you know. And to be honest, I was all right with that as well. I was, all right, you look, just make it quick. You have the address. So long as my no claim stays the same, you know what I mean? Make it quick, make it quick. So then I went up to this gig in Dundalk, and before I went to the gig, I went to a little, I was there. Do you know when you get news like that, and the weight off your shoulders is so immense, you feel so happy about it, because I spent so much time worrying about it. All through that day, I was intensely worrying about it. So then I went up to do the gig, and before I went to a gig, I went to this little cafe called 23 Seats. It's a lovely little cafe in Dundalk to have a bit of food and a bit of coffee. Do you work in... Oh, you're from Dundalk. Okay, fair play. I wouldn't be cheering about it. Thank you. The cafe is nice, all right? It's exactly, yeah. There you go. Dundalk people heckling themselves, you know. But this cafe was nice. So the lady bought me over my mug, and I'm not normally a fan of novelty mugs. I don't know if you people know that about me. I go as far as to say I hate novelty mugs. I've intentionally smashed a couple on people. So the lady bought me over a novelty mug. However, this one, right? Picture of a fox on it, big picture of a fox. And above the fox it said for, and below the fox it said sake. Clever. Do you get it? I can see some people that don't get it. What's the fox got to do with it? For fox's sake. Very clever. A little bit vulgar, very clever, but I thought that's great. And it had me thinking about stuff, you know? Like my dad. My dad doesn't really worry. That's how he brushes stuff off. For fuck's sake, for fuck's sake, for fuck's sake. That's how he worries, out loud. And he's the type of man that doesn't call his insurance company, you know? And I know this much because I was about 8, right? I remember being in the car with my dad, and we're flying down the road in his car, and all of a sudden the bonnet flipped open. Like, flipped open, right? Smashed the windscreen, and he pulled over to the side of the road. He was like, "That's your mother's fault anyway." I was like, "Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. I believe you. I believe you." No, it is, yeah. She was looking for a handbag earlier. I guarantee you she pulled the lever there. Yeah. Under the bonnet, yeah. That's where it's going to be, sure. So his car's at the side of the road. I know then, even as a kid, surely there's someone to call now, you know? And he has insurance, like. You can't get the bonnet back down. You can't see out the windscreen. You know what I mean? You can't see out, like, that's quite an important window. And blocking wind is not the biggest job that this has, like. So I'm thinking, yeah, we can't get home, obviously. Someone's going to come and help us. No. Do you know what my dad decided to do that day? Reverse all the way home. Yeah, not even gently. Like Jason Bourne. Through roundabouts and everything. I'm on the back window like a nodding dog, trying to tell him where to go. Right, sorry, I'm still getting used to the new system. And we reversed into my estate like that. And my mother was at the door, and she was looking all guilty, and I was like, I think it is her fault, you know. That's your fault. No, my dad totally gave my mum a pass, right? Because my dad got out of the car, my mum was like, "Oh God, I think that was my fault. I was looking for my..." He said, "Don't worry about it, girl, it's fine." Because she never found her handbag. Her handbag went missing the day before. That would be a Sunday. Every Sunday, from as long as I can remember, my uncle and aunt have a drink in my house, right? And if the weather's nice, they'll drink out the back garden. I grew up in a kind of a rough area, but our front door is always open. That's just kind of, people come, people go. It doesn't matter, you know? But on this particular Sunday, her handbag went missing. She looked everywhere for it, right? Couldn't find it, called my aunt to make sure she didn't bring it home, or my uncle, no, nothing. So she cancelled her card, she was distraught. So my dad properly gave her a pass. He was like, "Don't worry about it, it's only a car, it'll be sorted." And my mother's like, "Geez, first the handbag, now the car, we've no luck. Don't worry about it, girl, it'll be fine." And my mother was like, "Do you want your dinner there? I'll heat it up." And my dad said, "Yeah, I'll have my dinner now altogether. And you know what, look, I promise you, girl, it'll all work out." And my mother opened the microwave, and there was her handbag, right? My uncle put it in there the day before, hammered, just thought it'd be a bit of a laugh, like, you know. Oh, yeah. I'm not the only joker in my family, like, you know what I mean? And then I was thinking to myself, maybe it will all work out. I was sitting down having a coffee, and at that point, my wife's words were starting to get through to me a small bit. I was like, maybe it will all work out. Maybe I should just risk it again and go for the comedy. Then I went to do the gig in Dundalk that night, and that was one of the first nights where crowds were allowed back in. Full house, and I felt like a weight was lifted off the nation's shoulders and my shoulders, and the gig was absolutely amazing, right? I'd worked the next morning, though. I had to get out of Dundalk. I probably would have left anyway, being honest with you, right? So... But I was driving home to Cork, right? I'm lucky now to get into bed at 3 o'clock, if I'm being honest. I shouldn't be in a good mood. I shouldn't be in a good mood because I'm up for 6:30 at work, like, do you know what I mean? But I'm honestly, do you ever feel that happy in a moment? It feels palpable. It was like the weight off my shoulders, the adrenaline of the gig. I was like, Jesus, this feels amazing. Like, you know, honestly, this is it. And I said, you know what, now I'm going to put it out there now. In my car out loud, I said it. I said, all right, so universe, I don't know if I've ever met you before. My name is Chris Kent, and I want to be a full-time stand-up comedian again. I did, I said it. Thank you very much, thank you. Out loud. And it didn't feel bad. Didn't feel bad. And then I said, you know what, right? I wouldn't mind one of them fox mugs either, actually. And 10 seconds later, I hit a fox with my car. I hit a fox with my car, nothing I could do about it. I've had trouble with my accent in the past, and I'm thinking now, is the universe taking the piss here, like, do you know what I mean? Did the universe think just couldn't understand me? Oh, he said he wants a fox or something. Give him a fox there, hurry up. Of course, I went into work the next morning and I'm there to all the lads. I'm like, geez, I feel terrible. I was driving home last night, I hit a fox and I genuinely felt very guilty about it. Of course, there's always those lads in there. That's what you're meant to do. All right. Okay, well, I didn't even see the fox and I feel bad about it. Even if you've seen the fox, that's what you're meant to do. And cause an accident, don't hit the brake, just fucking roll over him. All right, bye. I'm trying to have a yogurt here for my lunch, like, would you relax a small bit? And then one of the boys tried to make me feel better in work, you know. At the canteen, one of the boys was like, at least you have a shit car anyway. You probably don't even need to get it fixed. And he's right, I had a shit car. Give us a cheer if you had a shit car. I don't mind having a shit car. It's the only good thing about having a shit car. Get it bumped and get it smashed and it doesn't matter, like, you know what I mean? But every now and again then, do you know what I like as well, even more? I love seeing my car twin. Do you ever see your car twin? Oh, that's lovely. Same make, same model, same year. Every now and again it'll freak you out a small bit. Overtake you, like, Jesus Christ, is that me? I'm after... How much coffee am I after having? I'm just after overtaking myself on the N7 there. This is another example of how tired I was, right? Back then when I had the job and the comedy, right? I tried to get into my car twin in a Tesco's car park for about 15 minutes. Walked up to the car, right? Same make, same colour, same year. Oh, brilliant. Talking to strangers. Central locking's gone now. What timing, like? Unbelievable. Kicked the car in front of him. Fucking piece of shit. So then I tried to key in the door, yeah? Not working. And every now and again, on my car, the boot opens, right? The boot opens, you can get the boot open. So then I'm trying to open the boot. Force the boot open. Like that. Fella from Tesco starts helping me. I swear to God, right? You all right there, bud? Yeah, I just can't. My central locking's broken. And the boot is, sometimes the boot opens on my car anyway, so I was going to try and get in through the boot, you know. Me and a fella from Tesco's like that, lad, trying to get in. It's not working, mate. The one day it wouldn't open. Thanks for your help here, man, thank you. Look, it'll be grand, it'll be grand. Leaning on the car. Halfway through a YouTube video. Central locking problems. And I swear to God, right, a lady came and got into the other side of the car. And it took a moment to register. And then the ignition started. I was like, that is not my car. That's not my car at all. It's not my car at all. My car is over here somewhere. Pretend you're watching a video there, Chris. I was mortified, like. I went home and told my wife about it. I was like, come here, I tried to get into somebody else's car in Tesco's for 15 minutes. And she was like, Chris, you need to give up the job. Honestly, you need to give up the job. It's too much, like, there's too much going on, like, you know. And then she said, do you remember you actually had to break into your own car? And I do remember, I genuinely had to break into my own car one time. Does anyone remember a festival called Oxygen? First big music festival in Ireland, right? First big festival that me and my wife went to together. We drove up from Cork and we were staying in Naas, and my car broke down in Naas, right? And I rang my buddy. It literally broke down in the middle of Naas, and I was like, my car's after breaking down. He was like, don't worry about it. There's a garage in town. Pushed the car into the garage, right? I was like, that's it now. That's Monday's problem. Don't mind that. We're going to Oxygen. Unbelievable. Foo Fighters, Killers, Kings of Leon. Couldn't give a shit about the car in the garage, like. Saturday morning, we're all hanging. My wife is like, oh shit. I left my passport in your car. I was like, I know we don't need a passport to get back into Cork at all. She's in Tipperary, like, I was only messing. She's like, no, I'm going to London Monday, remember? So she was going to London Monday morning, first thing to visit her sister. So I rang the garage, right? No answer. Went down to the garage, there's a sign on the door. Monday morning, 10 o'clock, they're open. I'm like, couldn't get onto your man at all. So I had to borrow a few tools off my buddy. I hopped over the wall of the garage, right? Coat hanger, 2 screwdrivers, 15 minutes of anxiety. That's what it took me. Breaking into my own car now, paranoid. Bending out the door. I broke into the car. I got the passport. I closed it. I went back. We had a brilliant time at the festival, right? One of the best weekends of my life to that point. Monday morning comes around. My wife has gone to the airport in a taxi. I go to collect my car. And to be honest now, it was an amazing weekend, and the memory of breaking into it wasn't at the top of my mind. So your man from the garage was like, I got some good news and bad news. I was like, okay. He's like, the good news is not much wrong with your car. One of the hoses came off, lost a bit of coolant, it overheated. We put it back on, we filled it up again, so it's only 32 euros for your car. I was like, that is a bargain. In fairness now, like, you pay more for parking. You actually would like. That's a bit of a hack there now for you. Google garages near the airport. Drive your car in. Look, lads, I don't know what's wrong with it. Probably take you about 2 weeks, I'd say, I guess, would it? Sorry, no, 10 days, is it? Yeah, take a suitcase out of the boot. Okay, thanks a million. Let me know what the damage is anyway. So then he says to me, the bad news, and I'm like, all right, what's wrong though? He says, look, was there anything valuable in your car? And the penny just wasn't dropping here with me at all. I was like, I don't think so. What are you talking about, like? I said, look, I'm sorry, somebody broke into your car. And then I remembered, yeah, that would be me. But I was too embarrassed to tell him about it, you know? So I just had to lean into it. I was like, you're fucking joking me. And I said, what are we going to do about that? And he said, don't worry, I have a small shot of him on CCTV. All right. Do you want to see it? No, I don't want to watch that at all, no. That would turn my stomach now, to be quite honest. And he said, the guards are already in here this morning, and they took the footage away with them. So if you could please check your car, make sure nothing is missing, and call into the guards on the way home, if you don't mind, and make a report. I will, yeah, no bother. Thanks a million, yeah. 3 days of being at a festival, drinking. The fear is never worse. I am, yeah. I'm going to call into the guards there now and ask them about a crime I done, you know. Cork's answer to Kaiser Soze. Hey, boys. Any luck catching that fella, no? Knock a fox mug off the table. See you later. But that was because that was pre-internet then, I suppose, you know what I mean? That's why we couldn't get on to your man in the garage, like. You made a phone call. That wouldn't happen today. It wouldn't happen today. Because the garage would have an Instagram page, a WhatsApp, a Facebook, too contactable. You know what I mean? I kind of like that. Like, I like that I grew up, like, in my early 20s without the internet. Is there anyone in their early 20s here? Couple of people. So you'll never know what it was like to not have the internet. You'll never know what it was like to feel fucking really stupid. We all feel stupid sometimes, but just to feel stupid and then not know why. Someone asks you the question, you're like, you just have to go, I don't know. Can you find out? No. Unless there's someone else in the vicinity here now. And there's still someone in this house that knows the answer. We may never know the answer. And then you just had to guess and take people's words for stuff. Actually, I have the answer. All right. And they'd say stuff like, that's what they say. And you'd have to believe that was a stock thing. That's what they say. And I'm glad, right? I'll give you an example. One year on Good Friday, about 19 years ago, right? Good Friday. Me and my friend Brendan got so drunk, right? Do you remember on Good Friday, the pubs in Ireland used to close? On behalf of Jesus. And then people were booking flights and going nowhere. Just so they could have a pint in the airport, you know? We didn't take it very well. But I used to like Good Friday because I got more drunk on Good Friday than any other day, you know? I absolutely loved it. But me and my friend, this is an example, about 19 years ago, me and my friend got so drunk on Good Friday, right? We convinced ourselves throughout the day, we were like, Jesus, the balls is nowhere open, isn't it? Good Friday, boy. Love to go out. And then we started going, yeah, but like, what about tonight? As soon as it's gone midnight, it's actually technically Saturday. So it can't be Good Friday on Saturday. And the nightclubs normally only open at 11:30 anyway. So obviously all the nightclubs in town are going to open tonight at 12:01. Because it can't be Good Friday anymore because it's Saturday. So you see, we couldn't check that. This logic that we came up with. So me and my friend got ready. That's the only way to check. Got a taxi to town. I have never made a taxi driver laugh that hard in my life. Where you going, boys? We're going to town. It's Good Friday, you know that, don't you? For about another 15 minutes, yeah, drive on there, will ya? And my buddy was like, it's actually 20 to. That was another thing about back in the day. In this room right now, every one of us has the same time on us, down to a second, because we all have smartphones. Most of us have the same exact second. Back then, what I'm talking about, hardly anybody had the time on them. Ever. Nobody, and I mean nobody, had the same time. We're all going around with different time. It was very dangerous in Cork. You couldn't ask somebody to time. You're taking your life into your hands, telling someone the time, not a hope. Massive arguments about it. Sorry, do you have the time there? Say 5 to 2. Someone else would put in, it's actually fucking 2 o'clock. All right, boys, calm down. It's actually 2 o'clock. My watch is set by Sky News. Your mam's a whore. Big fight then. Calm down, boys, calm down. It's only the time, like. Calm down. Do you remember that? Daylight savings, you know when the clocks went back and forward. My mum wouldn't even leave me in town. Not on them days, no way. Too dangerous. They'd be killing each other tonight, boy. No. Take them a couple of days now to get used to the new time. No, they'd be murder tonight. They'll all arrange it, like. They'll all be meeting up, 2 big gangs arranging it, like, you know. Having a big fight. The only lucky thing was now they never met at the same time. That was the only saving grace, like. Me and my friend got out of the car on Good Friday, right? Undeterred to the fact that Cork City looked like a ghost town. We're just wondering where we're going to go. Where'll we go? And we're torn between 2 nightclubs that no longer exist, right? A place called Mangan's and a place called Cubans. Yeah, we went for Mangan's. We were a little bit younger. We said we go to Mangan's. We walked down to Mangan's. Me and my friend walked down to Mangan's. We walked down a lane. We're standing outside a clearly closed building. Shutters down. We're expecting this place to fling open in about 7 minutes like a fucking reverse Cinderella. Ba-ding, come on in, come on in. Come on in, lads. I'd love to say we were the only fellas that tick on Good Friday. We must have been in the queue about 2 or 3 minutes. Another couple of fellas walked down. All right, boys, you have the time. Don't tell him. Don't tell him nothing. Hide your watch. I don't want to fight. We were in the queue for about 15 minutes, lads, right? We were in the queue for about 15 minutes. And then I started to sober up a small bit. I started to think, geez, I don't know, it's Good Friday. It probably does carry into Saturday now that I think about it. And then something beautiful happened. One of the other fellas in the queue went, will we try Cubans? And that's what we did, all of us. Walked over to another closed building. And me and my friend were too embarrassed to get a taxi home because the taxi driver laughed so much on the way. We were walking around Cork City for ages. And then we found a bike, right? Now this bike had been broken off a pole, right? And so it was broke, they snapped the lock, but obviously they got interrupted and they ran away. So me and my buddy were standing there judging these people that were trying to rob. Look at that, la, you can't have anything. Poor fuckers trying to rob the bike. They'll be back for that, you know. We should take it. So they don't get it. And we cycled the bike home to his house. Did you ever wake up the next morning and go, nah, there's no fuck. Do you know what I mean? I woke up on his couch and spots of the night before were revealing themselves to me. I was like, nah, there's no way we went to town on Good Friday. And oh, Jesus Christ, there was a bicycle in the front room. We did something anyway. My friend came down the stairs. I was like, I can't believe we went to town last night. He said, don't worry about it, Chris, don't worry about it. I said, how could we be so stupid to think everything would open at 12:01? Even if it did, Chris, even if every pub in Cork and nightclub is open, we wouldn't have got in anywhere because we were demented. I was like, oh yeah, I'm drinking since 10 o'clock yesterday morning, yeah, to be fair. Another spot of the night revealed itself to me. My buddy got out of the taxi, right? We used to wear like bootcut jeans, remember? A pair of bootcut jeans on him, and there was a bit of denim kind of snagging off here on the ground. And I just remember my buddy saying, "Step on that there, will you?" And I stepped on the little bit of denim, and he tried to kick it off. And it just ripped right up to his arse, you know? And I was like, "You wouldn't even notice. You wouldn't even notice. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. Just stay facing him." I had to go to town for a new pair of jeans anyway. But it did get me thinking that night, right? My friend was like, "You know, we wouldn't get in anywhere." And I started thinking about this. If you have too much drink, you don't get into a pub normally. The bouncer stops you coming in, right? There's a housing crisis in Ireland at the moment. There's a property ladder, right? There's not enough houses on the property ladder. But there's loads of people with loads of houses continually getting back onto the property ladder. So I'm thinking to myself, there shouldn't be a minister at the bottom of the property ladder at all, because they're doing fuck all. There should be a bouncer at the bottom of the property ladder, doing a proper job, asking people where they're coming from, how much they have on board, what are you after? Do you know what I'm trying to say? People be approaching the property ladder trying to play it down. Just 2 semi-Ds and a couple of bungalows. Fuck off. Fuck off. You've had enough. It's unregulars only until everybody has one, all right? Fuck off. Yeah. I don't want to talk about it too much because I know there's people in a far worse position than me, like, you know what I mean? I know that, like. There's families, homeless families, people living in hotels for years now, you know what I mean? Children doing their homework on ironing boards, teenagers wanking next to their parents. It's all happening. It's all happening. Don't shake your head, sir. It's happening. It is happening. Feels awkward, doesn't it? Imagine how the teenagers feel. Not even a bit of feckin' plasterboard between you and your dad. Just the sound of him snoring and close your eyes and go for it. Do you know what I mean? Awkward. Can you imagine it? They should start talking about that in the government, up in the Dáil. He has to wait till his father starts snoring every night until he can tear himself asunder, you know? Awkward. They'd be like, "Okay, get a couple of blocks moving. Hurry up, hurry up." No, he cannot go into the bathroom because his brother's in there ahead of him every night. Like clockwork. This is going to create psychological issues in the future. Count Corla, he could be lying with his wife in 10 years and he'll have to say, "Listen, I can't finish unless my dad's in the bed." You know the deal. You know the deal. I'm just saying, like, it might get a couple of blocks moving, that's all. Awkward, isn't it? You're covering your face. This is something they're not talking about. I feel sorry too on the people that are 20 and that now, people that have never not had the internet. Like, you've had access to porn immediately. That is absolutely terrifying. To me, I'm just like I didn't see porn until I was 16 years of age, and it was in a butcher's. I was working at the time. I was working in the English market in Cork in a butcher's. One of the boys came back from his lunch break with a VHS Corner. You're going to have to fucking Google that now, right? A video cassette. And he brings it into the butcher's, right? There's two brothers there and an uncle that run the butcher's. And they're all like, "Oh, give us a look at that. Give us a look at that. Yeah, give us a look at that." And he's like that, looking at it, right? "It's unreal, boy. It's unreal. Stick it on. Stick it on. This is my boss. Stick it on." That's how scarce porn was. Put it on, quick, put it on. You couldn't do that nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, if you came back from your lunch break now, tomorrow, "Hey, boys, you want to watch this? Will we put this on the big screen?" They'd be on to HR about you straight away, like, you know. He's doing it again. He's trying to get us all to watch porn. But we were all on board with it. So here's the stall, right? At the back of the stall, a small little office. Out comes the CCTV videotape. In goes the pornography. 16 years of age, fully dressed, selling sausages. It should not be the first time you consume porn like that. And they watched it for a very long time. They rewinded the tape over and over. The innuendos are flying because it was a butcher's. "She forgot her pudding." I know. No, she actually did. Okay, sorry about that. It was a beautiful day, and I'll remember it for the rest of my life. I was serving later on in the day, right? So I'm at the counter, and this lady is not responding at all. So I'm halfway through her order and I'm sorry, is there anything else, girl? And she's just not responding. And I say it again. I say, are you okay? Are you all right? She's just frozen to the spot. And I'm like, that was when I was in the civil defence. I was like, this is my time to shine now. So I was like, lads, call an ambulance there. And I ran out to her. I said, are you okay, love? And I walked over behind her, right? And I followed her eye line. And just above the counter, on another pillar, was another security monitor showing the porn, right? So she's just like that, watching the porn. And then I look around, the people in our rival stall across the way are watching the porn. She's like, fucking can't believe they've stooped this low, you know? Then I had to walk in and tell the lads the bad news. I was like, lads, the porn is on the pillar. But like, Chris, you'll have to, you know what I mean? You'll have to brush up on your innuendos. That's not an innuendo at all. Oh, the other monitor, it's on the other monitor. They take out the tape. Then they're all paranoid, you know? They're all walking around the shop. Do you think anybody saw it? Absolutely. Absolutely. That lady is still there. I don't know when she's going to move. 2 fellas after coming back with popcorn over there, look. My wife was totally, though, trying to get me to give up the job for ages, and it all came to a head eventually, right? It all came to a head eventually between myself and a bouncy castle man. I booked a bouncy castle, right? Off a reputable-looking Facebook page, way more likes than me. Bit annoyed about that, but... And I did a thing as well. You know what it's like, lads. I just did a thing. That's brilliant. I get to tell my wife I did a thing over and over. She's asking about stuff the next 2 weeks that doesn't have nothing to do with the party. Anyway, what's the story with the hospital appointment? I don't know, but the bouncy castle is sorted anyway. Do you remember that? I sorted the bouncy castle. What time does he have hurling? I don't know, but the bouncy castle is sorted anyway. I sorted that. I sent a Facebook message and I even picked it out myself without asking you what type of bouncy castle we're going to get. I messaged him the week of the bouncy castle. He's meant to be dropping it Friday. I messaged him on the Monday, no message back. I'm like, sure, look, do you know what? No, he's probably a busy man. He's loads of bouncy castles. It doesn't matter. So I messaged him the next day again, shoot him another message. Here, man, what time are you coming Friday? I'm in work. I'll be home at about 3:30. If you're coming at that time, it's no problem. Any earlier, you'll have to let me know, though, because my mum has the kids, school runs, etc. Blah, blah, blah. No reply, right? Message him again the following day, no reply, right? Messaging him all week now, starting to panic a small bit. Mainly because I've told my wife 40 times I've sorted out the bouncy castle. And I'm like, oh God. I messaged him the morning of. I tried calling him as well. He doesn't answer the phone. I'm being ghosted by a bouncy castle man now. I'm like, here man, what time are you coming today? Please tell me what time you're coming. I will be there at 3:30. You have to let me know. Please let me know. No message back, right? I get back to my phone at lunch break on the day the bouncy castle is meant to be coming, right? Message from the bouncy castle man. Not even referencing any message I've sent him so far. One message from the bouncy castle man. Be there in 12 minutes. Cash only. Message received 1.5 hours ago. Panicking then I am. I ring my mum. Mum, did the bouncy castle come? Yeah, he was here, Christopher. He was here. And he was a bit of an arsehole, to be honest with you. I know, look, sorry about that. Who has cash these days, Christopher? I'll sort you out when I get home. I'm going to go to an ATM on the way home and I'll sort you out. No, don't worry about it. I took it out of Jack's piggy bank. That was supposed to be for the house, ma'am. Jesus Christ, I'll sort it out. Don't worry. I'll readjust the mortgage forms. It's okay. That's not even the worst part, Vicar Street. That's not even the worst part. I booked that bouncy castle for 2 days. That's more than enough time, by the way, with a bouncy castle. I'm sure anyone in here who's rented a bouncy castle will know that. 2.5 weeks later, why is there a bouncy castle in my house? Never to mind what it's doing to the grass underneath now. That's on my mind as well. Grass is probably wrecked under that now. Every child on the estate thinks I own a bouncy castle now. They're all coming in every day to the bouncy castle. That's not my bouncy castle. I'm ringing him every day. I'm messaging him, please pick up your bouncy castle. Please come and take your bouncy castle away. I don't want it. It's the worst thing you can overgive someone. It's a bouncy castle. I swear to God, I feel like I'm in a relationship with the bouncy castle man. I'm actually getting ghosted by him, like, no messages back. I'm there to my wife. He's seen it, look. It says he's seen it. He's ignoring me. About 2.5 weeks later, right, I get one message off him again. This is the kind of man it's a one message or no messages. And the one message reads, blow it up. I'm coming around in a half an hour. It needs to dry off. I'm like, all right, fair enough. That's a bit, I went out, I plugged it in, I blew up the bouncy castle. I'm drying it and everything. He never came. He stood me up again, standing in the garden with a bouncy castle, no sign of him. I gave up, I stopped messaging him. The next night, my wife is out doing a course. Anybody that has kids here will know the most magical time of the day is when you put the kettle on and the kids are in bed. And I just flicked the kettle on. I flicked the kettle on and the doorbell. Kids start crying. I'm like, oh, fuck, I fucking think I know who that is, I have a feeling I know who that is. No appointment necessary for the bouncy castle man, I suppose. Kids are crying, coming down the stairs after me. I answered the door. Hello, all right, bouncy castle? I'm like, where were you yesterday? Oh, he's a busy man. And he just walked past me, right? Straight through my house, right? Walked past me, out into the garden. I'm raging. I'm actually fuming, right? My anger now is I'm about to explode. And I'm normally not a controversial man at all. I don't call people up on their behaviour or anything like that. But I went out to the garden and I said, come here, what's with your attitude problem? And he ran over to me. What attitude problem? He's sticking his chest out and he's about this close to me now. And there and then I'm thinking to myself, I think I'm going to fight the bouncy castle man. I never expected to have that thought in my life, did I? In front of my crying children, I'm going to fight the bouncy castle man. They will never, ever recover from this. Why are you so fucked up? Because when we were children, our dad fought the bouncy castle man in the garden. It was a big, massive fight, and there was loads of blood. I may as well go out and drag the fucker out of the whippy van while I'm at it. Come here, you. Kids, come over here. I want you to see this. Don't you ever come around there, all right? And he's in my face, and then he starts threatening me with a bouncy castle. I swear to God, attitude problem. I'll leave it there, so will I? I'm like, no, please don't leave it there. Take it away. He takes it away. He takes the bouncy castle away. My wife came in from her appointment, kids were back in bed. She looks out the back garden and says, oh, the bouncy castle's gone at last. I'm like, yeah, it was gone, yeah. She's like, what's wrong with you? I was like, I was nearly in a fight. Who were you nearly in a fight with? The bouncy castle man. You can't fight the bouncy castle. I know I can't fight the bouncy castle man. She said, Chris, honestly, you have to give up the job. This is too much. You cannot fight the bouncy castle man. And do you know what it was as well? I only realised it there after my wife started talking to me. He triggered me, because he was a full-time bouncy castle man. Living his dream. And I was only a part-time comedian, you know what I mean? And she's right, you can't fight the bouncy castle man. Does he sound like a prick to you? It doesn't matter, because he's the bouncy castle man. As soon as people retell the story, did you hear Chris got in a fight with the bouncy castle man? What the fuck is Chris's problem? It doesn't help now that I had an argument with a DJ at a communion a couple of weeks earlier, right? That doesn't help. And he was an arsehole. He thought he was in Ibiza or something like that. So my wife said it to me there and then. It was the first time I properly went, okay, and I was like, okay, let's make a plan, right? She said, you have to give up the job, and I said, okay. I said, look, I did comedy already for 12 years, right? Full-time before this. She's asking me to go back to full-time again. It's a terrifying prospect for me. I said, do you believe in me? And she said, I do. And she said, also, we need someone to look after the kids during the day. So because Evelyn is starting school now, and your mum doesn't drive, it's getting very awkward. But I was like, the main thing is you believe in me, that's good. So I went to become back a full-time comedian again. And also a stay-at-home dad, which I'm really enjoying again. The last time, thank you very much. The last time I was a stay-at-home dad, I lived in England. I lived in a posh part of England, a little place called St. Albans. So I get to compare the Irish parents to the English parents. I'm not saying it just because we're here. Irish parents, small bit more crack. Small but more crack. I'll give you an example. When I was in the playgroups over there was a lady there. There were all these posh ladies and their kids. You can't just dole out snacks now to kids, you know that? You can't just give them snacks because, not like the old days, they'll be like, have allergies, maybe their parents are raising them vegan, maybe the kids are weak, whatever, like, you know. But you can't just give the snack to the kid without it going through the parent first, you know. So this little kid is like, can I have that? And I'm like, oh, you'll have to ask your mommy, buddy. So his mommy takes the snack off me. This is in St. Albans now. And she's reading the ingredients. And she's like, oh, no. Oh, no, Charlie, no, absolutely no way. No, no, no. She gave it back to me. I was after hoofing 4 of them into my child already, like, you know. Brilliant, thank you. I get back to Ireland. There was a 5-year-old's birthday party on my estate, a 5-year-old's birthday party. And one of the parents said, I think we should have a mocktail party for the children. A mocktail party for 5-year-olds. And I said, yes, we should. That is a brilliant idea. It's great to be back. Mocktail, why not? 5-year-olds, mocktails. I'll bring a bit of sherbet. We'll have a no-cane party all together, you know? It's great to be back though. I took it all for granted before this, you know? And now it's all these little things I'm enjoying again. Driving around the country, doing my gigs. It's amazing, like, you know? I really took it all for granted before I had a full-time job and was doing it. And I like driving my car. I listen to books when I'm driving my car. That's my main way of passing the time now. I love the audiobooks. Anyone else into the audiobooks? Nice. I'll tell you who doesn't like the audiobooks. People that take the time to read the books. They can't take it that we're getting books now. They can't take it. They can't take it. You can't even discuss the books with them. You're like, that was a good book. They're like, huh? Yeah, no, that book you're talking about, that was a good one. Did you read it? Or did you listen to it? It's the same book. They have to know. But did you read it or did you listen to it? Just, I say I listened to it. Because that's an option to me now. Do you know how awkward that would have been before audiobooks? I'd have to bring my book to a man. Sorry. Will you read me that book there? This book is massive. Yeah, I know, yeah. Where am I going to get the time? I'm driving to Dublin. Get into the car. Start reading, okay? You don't take a breath until we get to the red cow. Do you understand me? There's a very good chance as well, I'll tell you, go back to the start at some point. Don't be crying. Last fella was crying every time I told him go back to the start, you know what I mean? You wait in the car there now and you exactly remember where you left off. Get into the shower with me. I'm always listening to books now. I'm on a cliffhanger. I can't fucking hear you, man. Can you speak up a small bit? And they always say the same thing when I say, actually, I listened to the book. They always go, at least you didn't watch the film. Fuck it, I didn't know there was a film now. I didn't know that. It would save me a couple of hours, like. And I'm back around staying in B&Bs and all that. It's lovely, like, you know, I can stay away now because I don't have to go back to work every morning. And it's lovely. I love a B&B, lads. Jesus, I love a B&B. When I'm on my own, I prefer a B&B to a hotel, I think. Bed and breakfast, boy. The old-fashioned bed and breakfast. They care way more than anyone in any hotel. They're up the next morning cooking you the breakfast. And they're over to you. How'd you sleep? I had a great sleep, thanks. That's a comfy bed, all right. Brilliant. I know you're in the bed. That's fantastic, like, you know. You don't get that in a hotel at all, you know. What room are you in? 189. I do like that bed, actually. Anything I can get you? I'll have a bit of ketchup, please. Over the ketchup. And my son loves that bed. Brilliant. Your son was in the bed as well. I was staying in a B&B in Northern Ireland last year. The host absolutely terrified me. This lady, I went downstairs, I said, could I get an iron, please? No. Okay, thank you. Thanks anyway. She goes, no, I don't trust you with an iron. 2 girls burnt my carpets with the iron. I was like, listen, I wasn't even going to bother with the carpets, to be quite honest with you. It was more my clothes now that I was thinking of. It was more my clothes I was actually thinking of ironing. She said, well, you're not getting it. Give me your clothes, I'll iron them. And I was like, no, I'm okay. Give me your clothes, I'll iron them. And I said, no, it's fine, honestly. I was kind of embarrassed, but I was like, I don't have any other clothes. I was intending on ironing these clothes freshening up a small bit and going down, you know. I just drove up in these clothes, they're very wrinkly. Give me your clothes. And I was like, oh, so I had to go into my room then, and she followed me, and she's waiting outside the door. And she's like, give me your clothes. And I'm like, this is a bit fucking weird, isn't it? So I'm taking off my clothes inside the thing, like a prisoner by the other side of the door, naked, waiting for my clothes to be ironed. Probably didn't need her to give her the jocks, but I didn't want her asking. Where's the underwear? No, I'll just give her everything, you know, saves another question. But my wife doesn't like B&Bs though, and I get that. It's kind of a one-person flying solo, you know what I mean? She likes more so hotels, posh hotels. I don't really like posh hotels myself at all. Kind of stick out there a bit, you know what I mean? I'm a bit too familiar now with the old Groupon glance. Not that we go away that often, lads. Jeez, we've 2 kids. My God, I didn't realise how good I had it before I had kids. We were going away all the time, like, not even thinking about it, you know what I mean? We're going away again. I was like, we haven't even come back. No, we've got 2 kids. We don't get to go away. It needs to be planned about a year in advance. 2 kids, that's about 13,000 photographs on my phone, by the way. That's what that is. 13,000 photographs on my phone, and according to my wife, I do not take enough photographs. Even though I have the physical evidence of 13,000 photographs of my children. You still don't take enough? You don't take enough? Oh yeah, let me introduce you to my mother. There's about 11 photographs of babies in the attic in my house. And she doesn't even know who's who, all right? Even when you ask her, is this me or my brother? I don't know. It's a child in a sink, Christopher. That could be anybody, okay. Who says it's you or your brother? Okay, thank you. I get it, you don't give a shit. The poshest hotel we ever stayed in, right, was in a place called Athlone, which really took me by surprise, right? If you know anything about Athlone. A beautiful hotel though, but I did feel that discomfort immediately. I don't look or sound or dress like I belong there. I'm in the hotel, very fancy restaurant. Then we're in the bar afterwards, sitting down having a drink with my wife. And there's a man over here, out of the corner of my eye, I can see him, right? He keeps on looking over. He's got a big newspaper and he's kind of doing that. And he keeps looking over and I'm like, you know, just trying to enjoy your drink. And you're like, what the fuck, like? And, you know, right out of my peripheral. And you're like, what do I do here? Like, do I take my hoodie off and tie it around my, like, little bow? And eventually I said to my wife, I said, he keeps on looking at me over there. And she's like, okay. I said, can we go back up to the room and have a drink up there? Because we had a really cool room. And she said, cool. I said, you take them drinks, I'll go up and get another couple of drinks. She heads up to the room, I go to the bar, I order 2 drinks. At the bar then there was a couple of board games. I said, I'll grab a couple of board games there, like, you know, bring a board game up. I was torn between chess and buckaroo, okay? But I can see the fella with the newspaper looking at me. He doesn't know I can see him, but he's looking at me in the mirror in the bar now. He's put down the newspaper and he's looking over like that, la. And I know for a fact, he thinks I'm going to pick buckaroo here. I tell you what, I also know for a fact, I really want buckaroo. But I don't want this fucker being right. I don't want him thinking I can't play chess just because I have a hoodie on. Because that's what he thinks at the moment. So I took the chess. I walked back up to the room. I realised on the way back up to the room, the hot tub area was open. Should have been closed over an hour and a half ago. I go to tell my wife the good news. I'm like, hot tub area is open. She's well ahead of me. She has the robe and slippers on. Hot tub's area is open. I put my robe and slippers on. We both head down into the hot tub with our drinks. Absolutely gorgeous, right? The hot tub is on this decking and it overlooks a lake. It's absolutely beautiful, stunning, pitch black. 2 of us in the hot tub, having a drink, beautiful, right? It starts snowing, very romantic. 2 of us in the hot tub, finished the drinks, and it was absolutely gorgeous, right? I get out of the hot tub, I go back into the hotel and realise someone now is after locking the door here from the other side. I'm like, the door is locked. There's a couple of balconies here, you know. Excuse me, the lights are just going off. That's the Groupon couple, don't go out there. Okay. So now I'm trapped in the hot tub area. There's a hot tub and there's a lake. There are my options, okay? Quite extreme options. So then I'm thinking to myself, there's a little fence, right? There's a little fence here, and I'm thinking out loud, it's snowing, and I'm in my robe and slippers, right? And I said to my wife, come here, I think I'm going to have to climb over this, right, fence, and hopefully the lake doesn't come in that far. Couldn't see a thing because it was pitch black. And then I'm going to have to climb down and get all the way around the hotel. I'll walk all the way around the outside of the hotel, and then I'll open that door then, right? And my wife is like, I'll stay in the hot tub, will I? Do, yeah. Yeah, do. Yeah. I'll do all that and you stay there like a forgotten tea bag, I suppose, yeah. And it was actually terrifying. I was standing on top of the fence and it was pitch black and I jumped down and I slipped in all the muck and shit and it was snowing and then I had to walk around the hotel in my robe and slippers and I was paranoid in the bar earlier because I thought one fella was looking at me. Now I'm walking past a glass front restaurant in my robe and slippers. I can see every fucker in there looking out at me. I'm like that. I get into the guy in the hotel and I'm like, excuse me, somebody locked me and my wife in the hot tub area. He said, that should be closed 2 hours ago. Maybe an old knock. Tell us about it. No need to lock us out there. That's a bit extreme, isn't it? No, I don't think they meant to lock you out there. All right, yeah, I'll stay in the bar tonight. They might not mean to lock me in there either. It'd be great, wouldn't it? And then I remembered the bar. I was like, shit, I have to go through the bar. Your man will be in the bar. Oh no, I hope he's not in the bar. He was in the bar. Finish his newspaper. And I walked in, right, and I swear to God, he's not even trying to hide it now. He is looking straight at me. I stopped dead in my steps. And I can see myself in the mirror behind him now, in my robe and my slippers. There's muck and shit all up my legs. There's snow in my hair. And he's staring at me. And he doesn't say a word. But I can just see him thinking, I knew he didn't know how to play chess. You know that way? I answered his thought like a lunatic. I said, I can play chess, actually. I actually can play chess. So embarrassed. Walk back up to the room. Have a shower. You'll enjoy a shower, lads, after walking the snow. That's what I'm after learning. You'll enjoy a shower. It's beautiful. But it's just pure embarrassing. You're trying to forget about the whole situation. You know, watch a movie, get your mind off it. About 40 minutes later, there was a knock on our door. It was my wife. I fucking forgot all about her. I so totally forgot. Covered in muck and shit. I'm really sorry. I got distracted by your man in the bar. I'm so sorry. He thinks I can't play chess. That's very important to me. Do you want a game of chess? Lucky to have her. Lucky to have met her, you know. And I've learned that you have to take chances. You absolutely have to take chances. A chance to use the hot tub, but it was still fun. You have to take chances. And I should have never met my wife, actually. Never should have met her, right? I was not meant to be out the night that I met her. So here's what happened, right? My friend back then, my friend was in college. He was teaching the girls' hockey team. He was coaching the girls' hockey team, I should say. And he gave me a call. He said, I'm heading out with the girls' hockey team tonight, Chris. Do you want to come out? I was 20. Of course I wanted to go out. But I was also broke. And I said, I can't, man. I've no money at all. He's like, cool, no problem. I put the phone down. Immediately, after I put the phone down, it rang again. And it was my friend Brendan that I was out with on Good Friday, okay? I was like, how's it going, Brendan? And by the way, Brendan works in a pub. He works in a pub. The man I went out with on Good Friday. But not a nightclub, not a nightclub. He did not know the rules of nightclubs. So it's Brendan on the phone. I was like, all right, Brendan, how's it going? How's it going? Not too bad. Bye, come here, Chris. Do you still have that bike that we got on Good Friday? I said, I do. I still have the bike, yeah. He said, there's a fella here wants to buy a bike. I was thinking you might be selling that bike. He needs a bike. I said, I would sell it, actually, yeah. He goes, how much do you want for it? I was, I don't know, 30 euro. And he was like, 80, is it? I was like, all right, yeah, maybe 80, yeah. He goes, can he collect it today, though? He kind of needs it for a job tomorrow. I was like, okay, yeah, fair enough. Gave him my mother's address, you know, at the time. And he goes, he'll be up to you in about 45 minutes. No problem. Hung up the phone. Started shitting myself, thinking, I hope the fuck it's not this fella's bike. It's going to make a very awkward transaction, isn't it? How much? Oh, God. Anyway, luckily it wasn't. The guy took the bike. He only had 100 euros on him. I had no change. I said, it doesn't matter. It's grand. Hang on to it. So I rang my other friend back, hockey coach. Went out that night. Who played at the hockey team? My wife. So what I have learned is that you have to take chances in life. Like, you know, had I not gone out on Good Friday, I might have never met her. And she did. She really encouraged me to do this full time the last year. And, you know, and I met her, and even bullshitting back then immediately. She was like, "All right, what are you doing?" I was like, "I'm in college as well, yeah." She's like, "What are you studying?" I was like, "Just everything, just to be covered." And I had a fake ID, and I showed her, and she was like, "Oh, you know it's fake." And I was like, "How'd you know? College is spelled incorrectly on it." Okay. What you have here is a collage of Cork ID. Just as well the bouncers don't go to college either, you know what I mean? "Where are you from?" And I said, "I'm from a place called Knocknaheeny." She was like, "That's a bit rough, isn't it?" She was from Tipperary, and I thought that was a bit cheeky, being honest. But I did just explain to her I sold a stolen bike to come out that night, so very hard to backpedal from that, you know? But she is the only one, like, she was in my corner and she got me to go for it. And you need people like that in your life, you know? They're saying something that everyone else is not saying. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you need someone like that. And basically, no, seriously, you really do. Thank you. And it's been a year. It's almost a year to the date when I left my job. And people ask me, was it worth it? Absolutely. I'll give you an example now, guys. I have got 5 times more followers on the Bouncy Castle Man now. Yeah. 5. Yeah, I'm on the biggest tour I've ever done in my life. I'm absolutely over the moon. And I'm even getting trolls. I never got trolls in my life, and it's absolutely... I thought there was something wrong. Why am I not getting trolls? I know I'm getting trolls. I don't get them very often, but I get them in the comments. Just people going, you know, "This is shit." I'm like, "Oh, thanks, thank you." She said, "Didn't think I'd ever get trolls." "Are you the rubber bandits?" "Yeah, I'm 2 of them." "Yeah, that's me, yeah, that's me." "Don't tell anybody, please, will you?" And I got one particular comment that I was kind of... I took a bit of notice to. Most of them you block, delete, or reply to, you know. There was one comment underneath one of my videos, and it said, "Now, either you've seen the same guy online that I've seen do this exact routine, word for word, or somebody is stealing your material." But what he's really doing there is he's kind of putting it out there that I might be stealing material, which as a comic is the worst thing you can say to anybody. And I felt like I was just after getting a break there, and you've someone coming and making a fucking comment like that. I'm doing this 19 years, I work very hard at it, and then I'm thinking, what the fuck is this? And I was like, who is taking my stuff now? Who is taking it? So then I commented underneath, I was like, "What are you talking about?" And the guy DM'd me, right? He DM'd me a video of the guy. And it was me. It was me from a couple of years earlier doing that routine in a comedy club in Liverpool, right? There he is. And that was it, just a video of me being sent to me. I couldn't believe it. I just replied, I said, "Come here, you're not going to believe this." He was like, "What?" I was like, "This is the same fella that tried to break into my car." Thank you very much, Vicar Street. Thank you. It's been an absolute joy. Thank you very much for coming out. Good night. Thank you.